party, people. What's going on? What's going on? Let me know if that fan is too loud. You shouldn't be able to hear it, but I've been good. Got some rest last night. Had to go out and do some work today. Got to shave, got to trim this down a little bit more presentable. Trying to convince the wife she ain't gonna let me put some just for men in there. So thanks for hitting the like button. If you got social media, share it. People on IG and everywhere else, TikTok, know that I'm here. I probably need to figure out how to start doing that myself. But yeah, no, overall I'm doing good. It was this month was stressful. I ain't gonna lie. This month was stressful. Turn that music down. I just turned it off. This month was daggone stressful. What's going on, Tracy? Yeah, it was real stressful. Just so y'all can understand, the way I look at the money that I'm making, what I'm saying, the money that Griff is making, because I do primarily signing services, they don't all pay in 2-week increments like a lot of y'all are used to it being done. So I know the cycle is that whatever happens at the 1st through the 15th of the month will typically start coming in the middle of the following month. So what I did for the 1st through the 15th of June will start hitting the bank about mid-July. Anything that I do after the 15th, especially the 23rd through the end of the month, will more than likely start hitting the bank the beginning of the month after that, meaning August. So that's what I've seen for myself. So when I see it slow in the beginning part of June, that means the beginning part or the mid part of July, things are going to be light for as money coming in. And if things are light going into the end part of the month, then that means the beginning of August is going to be light for his money coming in to pay the bills. And yes, I know people say, well, you can do all, not everybody can do all of the stuff that everybody is saying out here. Not every area is, that's prone for every area. Okay. So you do the best you can do. And that's what I'm doing. So it picked up. I think I'm at about 85, maybe 89 closings for the month, which is good. But it was looking real dicey for me. So I'm like, so I'm tired. What's going on, man? Yeah, I got some rest. So, hey, I'm working on moving to PA. Is that like the same process of being a notary in Florida? Probably easier. It could be easier in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a Commonwealth, so it could probably be a little bit easier in Pennsylvania. And if y'all see some weird people coming up in here talking about this exposing, just ban them. Just ban them, Completeness. Just ban them. All right. Just go ahead on and ban them. I don't know who they are. Just ban them and stuff. I ain't had no weird people come up in here in a while, so I guess they making the rounds again. Man, oh man. But yeah, I got some rest last night. I got some rest. Then I rested a little bit this afternoon before hopping on here and everything. So I hope you and the other members had a chance to see the video I talked about. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth here tonight. And let me do something here. Let me do something real quick. And I'm not looking for a whole bunch of people to be on here tonight with me, but I just figured I'd do a live and chop it up with y'all, and whoever hops on and stuff. And live, and so let me get my live up over here. So all right. Go. All right. So, what I'm going to talk about tonight is how to use AI to answer questions or get answers to questions that your notary trainer ain't giving you. Because a lot of y'all got questions and or had questions and your notary trainer never answered them. And that's how probably a lot of you found me. Most people tell me that they started off, they looked at whether it's Mark Wills, Vanessa Terry, Kendra Lewis, Ronnie with Notary Stars, Bill Soroka, Laura Brewer, and Carol Ray, which is Notary to Pro. Look, that's 7 people. That's 7 different trainers out there. That's just the big main trainers. And sometimes they don't get their answers from those individuals. Those individuals are so busy, they're pumping and doing so much, they can't get answers. Then they got all of the other people out there, the folk from Michigan, all the people down there in Florida, all over the place, Texas. They got all these trainers. Everybody wants to be a trainer. I can teach you notary. I can teach you notary. But when you start asking them specific questions, all of a sudden nobody has the ability to even try to answer a question. So I'm gonna go over one of the looming questions out here that everybody keeps asking. And I dealt with this before a couple of weeks ago, but I'm dealing with it a little bit more specific. And if y'all see me doing it, that's just the hair in my mustache getting in my mouth, so I got to trim all that up. But so and I'm gonna explain to you the process of how you can go about doing this, so you can learn how to get the answers for yourself and save your hind parts a whole bunch of money. Okay, so let's pull up the document. Um, Let me close this out. I'll print that later. I got a closing tomorrow. Pay $65, 46 pages. Let's do this here in the chat. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Let me do it a different way. Let me do it a different way. Let me ask it as a poll question. Um, Let me ask it as a poll question. Would you do a, and this here is a seller, so let me be more specific. Sellers closing for a seller's closing for $65 with 46 pages. That's a good question. Would you do a seller's closing? Now forget all that. Oh, how far is it? Is it? Let's just say it's close by. Okay, it's close by. The one that I'm doing tomorrow is, where is it? Tomorrow's the 29th. And let me see. I'm gonna find out just so I can give y'all the distance. Um all right. So that is probably about 15, we'll go 20 minutes at the most. 20 minutes from me. Okay, and I know 20 minutes in everybody's place is different. So it's on tomorrow, Sunday at 10 a.m. It's approximately 20 minutes from me. Let me really get the accurate. It's calculating it up. Oh, here it is. Let me click on home. And it's 21 minutes, exactly like I thought. 21 minutes for me to drive there. So it's 21 minutes, 40 minutes round trip, 11 miles, since everybody worrying about miles and all of that. 46 pages, $65. Would you do it? So the poll question is up there on the in the on the video. So just hit that, just answer it, and let me know and everything. Okay. Let me know. No witnesses, just you and that person. No, they ask, oh, additional witness. No witnesses. Should have told say that. No witnesses. It's just you get in there. It's one person signing. They sign in POA force one person. You just get in there, they sign it, boom, that's it. And you do a quick scan. When you get home, you drop it off tomorrow on Monday. Well, not tomorrow's not Monday, on Monday, because it'll be done on Sunday. And you make yourself a quick $65 you at the end of the month. So let me talk about that real quick. And this is not to persuade anybody to do it or anything, but here's my thought process. Going back to goals, GOALS, and please hit the like button so YouTube will push this out and let everybody know. Throw it on your social media, all of that. This video we're doing tonight. So if you have a goal of, let's just say for me, 85 closings. If I'm at 84, why not take it so I can hit the 85? If I have a goal of, let's just say $7,000 and I'm close to it, okay, I'm close to getting there, why not take it so I can get closer? You get what I'm saying? So it depends on what your goal is. If you have a goal to do something and this item, this thing, this appointment can get you there, irregardless of the dollar amount, or get you closer, why not do it? That's the question. So my goal is 75 signings per month. I've hit that. Then the other goal is let me try to hit 85, 90. I believe I've done 80, at least hit 85. I'm trying to hit 90. So why not take an extra order, especially since there was an order that I had earlier that was supposed to happen at 8 a.m. today. It got moved to Monday, which then meant I couldn't do it because I'm already booked at the time they wanted. So that's an order that's gone from me. So I had it and now it's gone. So this order sort of makes up for what I lost. See, these are the other factors that a lot of people don't talk about, these TMCs. They don't talk about those factors. So when you have a goal and you're trying to get somewhere and what you want to do gets twisted, gets messed up, and then it's like, well, how do I replace it? I'll take this. It's not paying as much. However, it's still an order. It's still an order because you just never know. You do that order for 65. Well, what if there's a problem with the documents? They're like, oh man, we didn't realize we messed such and such up. Now you got to go back. There's a trip fee. Now that 65 done turned in probably to at least 125. It could happen, and it has happened, but you don't know that unless you take it. You get what I'm saying? So when you say I don't want to take it, now you have to ask yourself, why don't I want that money? And why am I devaluing the money? Now, there are a lot of y'all that keep hitting me up in the comment section talking about the expenses. Okay. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I think I should. So let me just show y'all on the screen here. Let me show y'all real quick. And we're going to get to, so this here is my comment section. And I sort of pulled up all the comments that people had left getting on me in some fashion, or just giving their opinion. It's a little bit of both about me talking about taking lower fee orders. And they're constantly saying, oh, you don't take in a grift. You're not taking into account the expenses. These are a lot of comments over the years of people getting on me talking about I don't account the expenses. I do count the expenses. I understand the expenses. But it don't mean you stop doing business, because guess what? You have an expense to do your W-2. You might have daycare. You got to buy food. You got to pay for the heat in your house. You have expenses that you have every single day. And if you're going out to lunch with your friends because that's the cool thing to do, that's an expense at $15, $20, $30 a day for lunch. All of these are comments all the way back to 3 years ago. Get what I'm saying? Like this person here, they're talking about they would do it if it was closer to home. I mean, I got people on my helmet telling me that like I don't know what it is. Like this person says 0 minus 0 equals 0. And I did a video called The Power of a $60 Order. And that's the thing. And then one person says here, and I know it's a little tight. Let me zoom in a little bit. Then this person here is 0, talking about 60 can also equal 0 or worse, a negative when you're running a business. So pay attention to the expenses incurred per assignment. So now you got to ask your daggone self, what are the expenses per assignment that you actually are incurring? And nobody can really answer that because they say, well, the gas and the this and the that. Is your gas really costing you more than $60? Because here's the thing. Let me come back to y'all for a quick second. If you, and don't mind me, I'm trying to find something else here. Where is it? If you, I think I was in here. Oh man, I forgot. If you have spent a lot of your time, hold on. I'm trying to find this thing because it. So if you spent your time driving around all day and then all of a sudden at the last minute you got to get gas because you got a closing, yeah, it took you 45, $50 to put gas in your car, but the actual trip itself did not cost that. That's your problem that you spent that you waited that long to put some gas in your car. That's on you. That's not on the signing company or anybody else. So here it is. So here's something I wanted to show y'all. We're gonna get to what I was talking about using AI. So I did a video, and it's somewhere on here. So 82 pages. This is the cost. $8. This is the cost for doing 162 pages. This is when it was at 5 cents a page. 169 pages, $16, 284, 484, $24, and the fee was 160. These are my fees that this is what I was looking at and stuff. Here it is. So let me move this out the way. 94 pages, 68. So I'm getting paid these fees here. So here's the thing. The total cost to do these orders here was $55.40. It cost, and then I brought in $460. My net was 404. So you tell me, how am I really losing money? Then with the gas, am I really losing money on the gas? Because if I have a gas efficient car, or if I'm like Apprentice with an electric car, how much is it really costing me? So when people get up here talking about you got to count the expense, why don't you count the expense? And don't take this offensive. Don't be offended by what I'm saying here. You bring to the table the actual expense that it costs. Now, here's something that a lot of y'all are doing when it comes to the printing. Y'all are literally calculating your cost of printing as if you was Office Max or FedEx. And young lady told me that one time. She said, "Oh well, when I do my printing, when I add it up to charge them, I charge it like I was at, like I was an Office Max." So you're a retail store now. So but that's what they're doing. So this is where people are unjustifiably, and then you have the people who are paying $8 a ream for paper. They won't buy a case of paper, but they'll go to Office Max or somewhere and buy the premium paper at $8 to $10 per ream, $11 to $15 per legal paper. You got 5,000 sheets of paper. So right now, if I did it right, so I think it's $40 at the Sam's Club, and that $40 divided by 5,000, because it's 5,000 sheets in a case. That's what it's saying it costs per sheet. Per sheet, 0.008 cents. Tell me if my math is wrong. So you got, because you're not taking 5,040 divided into 40 pieces, but that $40 divided by the 5,000 pages that you just purchased comes out to 0.008 cents per sheet. And then you times that by, let's just go with 225. Now, if I'm wrong, okay, so now when you add in the toner cost, okay, the toner cost is, I think on Amazon, I can get my toner. We'll just go with the higher price I paid. Let's just say 136, okay? $136 divided by the 18,000 pages that I can get out of that. Back, that's another 0.008. So 0.008 plus 0.008, okay? And then you take that same, multiply that by the 225 pages, meaning something you printed twice, that's $3.60. But let's add the drum costs in there. The drum cost, so one of my drums, and on my white printer, the drum is 220 bucks, I think, because it prints a lot. So 220 bucks, but it does 45,000 pages. That comes out to that, okay? So now we got 0.004 plus 0.008 plus 0.008. Times 225, $4.50. Tell me if my math is wrong. Y'all got the video here. Tell me if my math is wrong. That's just on the printing side. $65 minus $4.50. Now, how do you calculate your lights? How do you calculate the electricity? The scanning is just scanning. That's electricity. Now your gas. How do you calculate that? Because I know doggone well it is not costing you $10 in gas to go from point A to point B, unless you just out there speeding all over the place. So that's the thing. So you don't have to try to communicate to me that I don't understand the cost associated with doing the business. I've been doing it for 7 years. I got 2 printers. I just bought another printer. I understand the cost. Paper. Got another case of paper downstairs. I just spent $40 on it. I'm doing as much work as I'm doing. I'm spending down there I'm spending basically 80 bucks a month on paper. I'm going through 2 letter size boxes of paper, and that's all the legal paper I got. So I got to order some more at 76 bucks. Okay. So I like expenses for typer. Right. This is what people don't understand. So if you're whining about the expenses, you don't understand the taxes. You don't understand the tax benefit of expenses. You don't understand the write-off. So jumping on me in your own way about the expenses and why you won't take the order. The question that I have for anybody who says I won't take an order for that, do you have other money in your household to take care of your bills? Because if you do, then it makes sense that you say that's beneath me. It's that simple. Be honest with yourself. If you have a spouse, husband or wife, that their money is carrying the bulk of the load, if you got investment properties, if you got Bitcoin, if you got Forex trading, if you got other things, and the money that you're making from notary is not the primary money to pay your bills, to keep the lights on, then I get it. I get it. But for some of y'all think that, well, That's going to be beneath me. And you don't really understand expenses and the benefit. And let me share this with you. W-2 is this. This is the W-2 world. This is your W-2 world. You went to work and you made money. The government said, thank you. And this is what you get to take home. This is what you get to take home. With a business, it's, and that's, and you, so you get taxed before that. With a business, you say, this is what you brought in. You had similar expenses. You had a whole bunch of these expenses, but guess what? This is what you get taxed on. You get taxed on what's remaining after your legitimate business expenses. You get taxed on this, not this. In the W-2 world, you're getting taxed on this up front. You're getting hit on this up front, and they leave you with this. With a business, you got this expense, but you get taxed on this. Talk to me, people. Talk to me and see, this is why you can't just be out there listening to any and everybody. These folk don't know what they're talking about. Same thing, them suckers out there talking about, you don't need to start an LLC until you make $100,000. Says who? Because the LLC, limited liability company, not corporation, limited liability company, provides certain protections if you run it right. Well, what happens if you get in a car accident? What happens if you damage somebody's property? They're not going to wait till you start making $100,000 to sue you now, so you're protected at, oh, I'm going to wait till you. No, they're going to sue your hind parts right then and there. But I'm a sole proprietor, and they're taking everything. If you're doing business, do business and stop playing around. Y'all need to stop listening to these fools out here. They don't know what they're talking about. They really don't. They don't know what they're talking about. And if they're talking about them, it's because of a certain tax benefit that they get by waiting, because they want to do things a certain way for us, paying themselves a salary and all of that. So they figure, I'll wait till I hit this dollar amount. Okay, cool. Well, plus they're probably doing things that's generating that level of money. Great. But are you? You're just generating $500 a month. And you're sitting here waiting till you hit $100,000 a year to do an LLC. You boo-boo the fool from Yogi. I'm telling you, you are falling for it and fell for it and keep falling for it. But this whole thing about expenses, you really need to look into it. Talk to a tax person and stop taking your advice off of TikTok. And then it says we don't get those tax advantages as W-2. That is correct. Do you think it's because they don't have assets? Could be. Honestly, it could be. It could be because they don't have assets. They don't think they have assets. They're living out of an apartment or whatever the case may be. Who knows? It could be anything. And I'm not saying that as a negative for us living in an apartment. I'm just saying they don't have a house that somebody can come after. They might have a car that's already paid off. You see what I'm saying? Or if they do have a house, it might be in their spouse's name and not their name. So there's nothing for them to legitimately come after, because in this day and age, everybody want their money separated from the one they love. So you got your money over here, I got my money over there, and I'll put money from my account into the house account over here. I give it to you, and you pay. They got all kinds of stuff. So that could be the case, Caprinas. The lack of assets, they don't think it's worthy of doing it. And then, of course, California, it's a low cost to start an LLC, and then you hitting $800 a year after that to re-register and stuff. And people don't want to spend money, especially if you're spending all your LLC money on going to conferences. Talk to me, somebody. Spending all your money to run your business on going to conferences to listen to somebody else about how they run their business. When you get back, you ain't doing no business because you ain't got no daggone money. So All right. So let me get to this document. All right. So one of the questions that keeps coming up over and over and over again about being a notary is you cannot notarize a document that has fields that are not filled in. That you better not notarize the signature on a document that has something blank on it. If it's blank, you cannot do a notarization. Everything has to be filled in. How many have heard that? If you've heard that, put a one in the chat. Seriously, if you've heard that, and you probably heard it from one of them 7 people that I've said, and the 8th person will be the NNA. If you've heard that, put a one in the chat. I know I've heard it. I've heard it multiple times that you cannot do a notarization of a signature if there's even one field, and the reason why is because somebody might fill it in. That's what people say. We know that's true. That's what they say. The question is who's going to fill it in and how they're going to get the documents to fill it in. Because if you understand the chain of custody is from the title company to you, from you to the title company. So when is somebody going to get a hold of the documents? Before I go to bed at night, if I have documents that's going to be left overnight, I seal them up. I actually, after I've done my scans, all this, that, and the other, even if they haven't come back and, say, hey, we'll clear this, whatever, because of, they say, oh, well, if they came back and say, oh, there's an error, I don't care. Before I go to bed at night, I put my envelopes, over there, but I put my stuff in the FedEx or UPS, seal it up, put the label on it, all of that. Ain't nothing left out open. So if anybody breaks in here and they want to mess with some documents, they're going to have to rip them things open to do that. So if you aren't being careless with the documents, how is somebody going to take the documents from you and add something in there? That's the question. Who's going to do that? So I see it ain't too many people answer that question. And maybe you haven't heard of it, but I'm sure y'all have. Y'all just don't want to say that you heard it. So today I had a closing. I'm reading through the documents, taking a quick look at them, and I see this. And I see this. I changed the name and all of that. And then I made the title company Uncle Griff Title LLC. Okay. So I see this lender, loan number. We've seen this before. The line of credit, payoff, affidavit. And we know that affidavits have you swear them in, they sign it in front of you, and you notarize the signature. So this is something that you most definitely will have to notarize. Now, are all lines of credit payoffs affidavits? No. Some of them are not. They just say lines of credit, line of credit payoff, and they're just a signature, and that's it. And Completeness said he's heard that regarding general notary work. Okay. Now, so I asked that. So then, for some reason, I don't know, I decided to start reading the document. So as I'm reading through the document, I said, we, the undersigned, in order to induce such and such title company to issue policies of title insurance covering the above caption property. I'm like, caption? Oh, new term there. New term. Whoop, whoop, whoop. New term, caption. Okay. Didn't think too much of it, but I saw it. I'm like, okay. We currently are the owners of a deed of trust to the caption lender. I'm like, whoa, 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 caption lender. Wait a minute now. This is new. I didn't notice before. I never paid attention. I was like, caption? What does that mean? This is how you learn. Then I kept reading, dot, dot, dot. Then I got down here and read, and it said, by a copy of this affidavit to the caption lender. Okay, there's that word again. to the captioned loan account. So we got a captioned property, we got a captioned lender, and we got a captioned loan account. Well, daggone it, you got my attention now. I want to know what the heck they mean by this. So, Griff, what does Griff do? Where is it? I lost my bag on page. Nope. Where is? Hold on. Let me find. I done clicked so many daggone things. Oh, it was right here. My bad. Right there in front of me. So, what do? You know what I did? I went to DeepSeek. One of my favorite ones. I got to go check out Claude again. And then my man, Brian, if you get a chance, just throw those other ones that you mentioned earlier in that video that I did for the members, the other type of AI tools that's out there. So I said, what does the phrase caption lender mean? Just ask it. It says the phrase caption lender typically refers to a lender that is specifically named or identified in the caption, title, or heading of a legal or financial document, such as a loan agreement, promissory note, or credit faculty. Key points: caption, in legal financial context, the caption is the introductory section of a document that identify key parties, lender, borrowers, dates, and agreements. Caption lender is the lender explicitly named in that section, distinguishing them from other potential lenders like syndicate lenders or assignees. Oh, got it. I was like, cool. So let's go back to our document right here. So here's the caption property right there, caption property, meaning the property that is identified right there, the caption lender. Now, the problem is there's nobody listed. But does that mean we don't notarize the signature? We know it's a line of credit payoff, and typically line of credit payoffs are for a particular loan, the primary loan that's on the mortgage for a lender such as Mr. Cooper or Rocket Mortgage or Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Those could be the captioned lender. Y'all may hear me say captured, but captioned lender, meaning the identified lender in the caption. So that is the caption space up here. So this is the captioned space, and inside of that is your caption property, your caption lender, and your caption loan number. Penny Mac, eMortgage, that's right. Any of those companies could be the caption lender. Okay. So whoever, and these are different ones that Gronk, I remember that Claude, and I hadn't heard of Maunus. I hope I'm saying it right. But check those out. So y'all check those, just search for those particular AI tools, and you can use those to get you some answers to your most pertinent questions. So now I'm sitting here like, okay, but there's nobody identified. So down here, I made up this name, William King, he has to sign this. Then I got to do my notarizations here. I got to do my signature. I got to put my state, my county, the date, my notary expiration, and then my stamp. Okay. But conventional wisdom says you can't do that because there's nothing here. So what did Griff do? Griff said, let me go talk to DeepSeek again. And now look at what I wrote. I said, we're going to read through this. I asked DeepSeek, I said, I said, I've been a notary for 7 years, primarily doing loan closings. And during this time, I've heard other notaries state that we should not notarize documents that have blank fields. During this, I routinely see a document called line of credit payoff affidavit. That document indicates that a mortgage line of credit will be closed as a part of the refinance, because that's what it does. That's what it means. I also seen a survey affidavit that states whether or not a survey was conducted. On the line of credit payoff affidavit, there are two places to identify the lender and the associated loan number. Both are always not filled in. On the survey affidavit, there's a section asking the dates of the last survey, and that area is always not filled in. However, both affidavits require notarizations or signatures. So how can I do the notarizations if the fields are blank, but the signers have to sign the document or the loan would not get funded? What options does a notary have? Let me come back to y'all before I show y'all that. This is how detailed you have to be. And if you're being that detailed, and a lot of people can be, this is why your TMC's brains bust. They cannot handle that level of detail. They're just in it to hit it, miss it, get up off it. Let me come in, make my money off of y'all, and keep it going. Oh, but hold up, TMC. I want to know about this question. I have this question here. Can you please answer it? And if you talk to them more than 3 seconds, they start eyes glazing over. Oh. Yeah, babe. Yeah. Okay. I'm on my way. Okay. Yeah. Tell the 2-year-old to stop trying to drive the riding lawnmower. Yeah, get him off the. I gotta go. My 2-year-old got the riding lawnmower. I thought you lived in an apartment at my parents' house. They will make up stuff to get away from you because they don't want to go into details. They can't, and they will sit there and make you pay them money just so they can go do this. And they'll go to ChatGTP and okay, well, here's what the answer is there, young fella. This is what I found out through my extensive research, and I dug deep into the notary law books, and here's what I found out, that this is what you need to do in that situation. Hit my cash up again. That's what they're doing. You got to stop being lazy. You got to stop talking yourself into believing that you don't have the ability to use the brain that you got that got you this far in life to figure this stuff out. Let me stop before I go on a rant. So here's what the answer is. And we're going to go through this, not every single, but we're going to go through this. So as a notary, you're right to be cautious about notarizing documents with blank fields, as it can raise legal and ethical concerns. However, in the context of loan closing, so if you're paying attention, you see how I worded my question. I didn't just give it a general question. I was specific. And the reason why I'm saying that, because a lot of time when people call me, y'all aren't specific when you're asking me questions. Y'all just throw a question out there and it's like, okay, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Be more specific. Like you said, well, do you do mentoring, Griff? Because I really want to know. I need a mentor. Well, what do you need to be mentored in? Everything. Okay, what to you is everything? Just everything. I can't mentor you in everything because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where your head is at. So goes on to says, in the context of loan closing, some affidavits like line of credit payoffs, affidavits and survey may intentionally leave certain fields blank for later completion by the lender or title company. Here's how to handle this situation professionally and legally. Now, again, this is AI. This is just giving advice. This is not legal advice, as it says down here. This response is AI generated for reference only. Okay, this is AI generated for reference only. All right. So it says, understanding the issue, blank fields and notarization. Generally, notarizing a document with blank fields can be risky because it could allow unauthorized alterations after signing. We understand that. A notary seal implies the signer swore to the completeness of the document at the time of signing. I understand that. And I get why a lot of the people, I started to say somebody's name, but a lot of the people out there say don't do this, as well as the NNA. State law, various jurisdictions may prohibit notarizing incomplete documents. And see, that's really the phrase that should be used, incomplete. And what is deemed incomplete? That's what you have to ask yourself. And that's what you would have to ask these DeepSeek. So, DeepSeek, what is deemed an incomplete document? And I think I did in a video I just did a couple of weeks ago. I talked about that. I did it. What is deemed an incomplete document with regards to a loan document? Ask it, and it'll tell you. Loan closing realities. Realities. I was like, In mortgage and refinance transactions, some affidavits are pre-printed forms where lenders or title companies fill in names, loan numbers, and dates post signing, meaning after funding. This is often an industry practice, but it still puts the notary in a gray area. Options. Let's go back. So it's telling you that this is something that can happen. So when you tell let me come back to y'all for a second. So think about it. And I don't know if you can for just one moment. Be honest. Have you personally doing your loan closing journey here told a title company that you cannot notarize the signatures on a document because they're blank fields? Have you actually done that? Have you put if you have put a 2 in the chat? If you've done that, put a 2 in the chat indicating, or say yes, I've done it, or put a 2 in the chat indicating that you actually told a title company you will not notarize the signatures on a document because there are blank fields there, whatever they may be. Don't even matter what the document is. If you've done that, or we'll say you know somebody who's done that, because some people don't like to be honest about what they've done. If you know somebody who's done that, then put a 2 in the chat, okay? So, and if you have, I would love to know what was the response. We'll get into that in a second. So you're telling a title company. So think about it. Look at the chain of command here. This notary trainer that has no jurisdiction over you or over your state, in your state, or over you, because a lot of times you're dealing with people outside of your state as trainers. They have no jurisdiction in your state to educate you on anything concerning your state law. They already said they don't teach you notary law, but yet they're going to tell you what you can and can't do for a document that has blank fields. You then take that advice that they shared with you that you paid for, and then when you come into that scenario, you tell the people, I'm not notarizing the signatures on that document because you got a blank space on there. You have this blank, and I'm not doing it because somebody can do something nefarious on there. If this is their standard practice, who the heck are you to tell them that their practice is wrong, that what they're doing is wrong? Now, we're going to get into how you deal with this. Let's go. So, options as a notary. Best practice: refuse to notarize until complete. Okay. Politely, note what the word politely, explain to the signer and the closing agent that you cannot notarize a document with blanks unless you receive written authorization. So, where does that written authorization comes from? That's the question. And then you need to be able to state or quote cite your state law that says you cannot do a incomplete document, and you need to have documentation that says this is what an incomplete document is. So it says see option B below. We will. Then it says request. Another option you got is request that the lender / title fill in the critical fields, lender name, loan number, and dates before notarization. If they refuse, you may decline to notarize, but this could delay the closing. This here is B, option B down here. Acceptable compromise, written authorization. Some states allow notarization of documents with blanks if the signer provides written instructions, an addendum, or the lender title company letter stating which fields may remain blank, who is authorized to fill them in later. The captioned lender may insert the loan number post closing or post signing. Ask the closing agent or lender to provide this in writing. Email may suffice, and attach it to your notary journal. Industry workaround. This is the in. Let's go back to this here. Any questions so far? Seriously, any questions or comments so far? Are you seeing this from a different light now? Instead of just this blanket, don't do notarizations on documents that have blank fields. You now are looking at this. You should be now be looking at this scenario a little different. So when you come across this, now here's something that I do if I see that I need to. I will call them, I will have them, I will ask them, depending on the company I'm working for, because some companies don't want us calling the title company. I will say, call your lender. And the lender will, and they will talk to the lender, and I'll say, yeah, this is Stephen Griffin Notary. The what's his name out here? The King, Mr. King, was trying to understand why didn't y'all fill in, or either y'all, the lender, or the title company didn't fill in the lender and the loan number for the line of credit that's getting paid off. So the question is, who's going to fill that in, or can we get that information to fill it in? Because they will feel much better if that information was filled in now than later. And had to do that, I think, twice, maybe one time. One time I definitely remember, but I think it might have been twice. That's one way you can handle it. That's the way I handle it. If the lender asks me, if the couple asks me about why is it blank, I tell them, I said, from experience, they tend to fill this in after you sign it. I said, if you're concerned about this and you want to find out more details, feel free to give them a call and ask them, about this being filled in right now. And if they give me the information, I'll handwrite it in myself. That's how I handle it. That is how I handle it. Okay. So these are good things that you can do rather than argue with them and just say no because some notary trainer you paid told you to say no. That's what typically happens. So industry workaround, notarize with a disclaimer. Now, this is what I do like this. If the lender title insists on blanks, add a handwritten note next to your seal stating, or in your journal stating, I would probably do it more so in my journal. If you have the integrity journal, you have space to do that. Notarize with blank fields, describe lender name, loan number at the request of the signer lender per closing agent on such and such date. Now, like it says here, this does not absolve liability, but it documents your diligence in trying to get a resolution. Then it says consult your state notary laws. Some states like Texas and Florida explicitly prohibit notarizing incomplete documents while others are silent. Check your state notary handbook or Secretary of State's website. So now you have to ask yourself, are the trainers that are saying this from Florida and Texas? If they are, now you understand why they're saying this. You see how education helps you out? And you're getting all this for free. See, I ain't the one to be sitting up here, hit my Cash App and hit my what's the thing they call it now? On here the super thanks and super cash and all that super chat. I don't do that. I'm just gonna give it to you for free. If it's valuable to you, you'll bless me. If you don't think it's valuable, I'll never hear it. But I don't need it. Okay. That's the thing. It's not about money for me. For everybody else, it is. And I guarantee you, some of them TMCs gonna take this and they're gonna be, or Zelle. Yeah. I don't need somebody to Zelle me or anything. But they'll take what I did in this video, and a lot of them do, and then they'll stick it in their course. And then they'll charge everybody for it because they have no creativity at all. I'm serious. And yes, I'm talking about all of them. They have no creativity because if they did, I wouldn't have to do what I'm doing here for y'all. If they did, y'all wouldn't be asking this question. I was telling everybody, I'm not going to notarize that because there's a blank field there. I'm sorry there, Mr. Johnson. I can't notarize this document. And they're like, Timmy, you need to notarize. I'm sorry, but I can't do it. Why? I just can't. And you can because you haven't even taken time out to verify with your state whether or not that's so. And you know doggone well if you say, well, I'm doing it because a so-and-so has said such and such. Well, who is that? That's this TMC type of person that's floating around out there asking people to pay them money for notary knowledge. And you paid them so they could, and they telling you not to do this. Yes. And have you verified that with your state? No. Get out of my house. If I was a signer, I would kick your hand parts out of my house. I'm serious. I would kick you. See, the crazy part is that so many of y'all call me talking about you want a mentor and you want somebody to help you with this business because you like, well, these are legal documents and these are people's money and all. Well, if you're so concerned about the legality of stuff, then why haven't you verified, quantified whether or not what you're being told, what you done paid to be, what you paid for to be told is actually valid? And doing a little bit of research, you find out that, oh, if there's a trainer from Texas or Florida, now I understand why they are so adamant about that. It makes sense. Remember what I've said to y'all. People train you out of what they know and who they are, including me. I'm training y'all out of who I am because I'm the guy that goes down the rabbit hole. So I'm gonna take you down the rabbit hole with me. But guess what? When we come out on the other side, you're gonna have the proper knowledge and you're gonna know a few things that you can go and have your and dig your own rabbit holes to find out the knowledge you have. If you're a TMC, you need to take people down the rabbit hole. I'm sorry. Because if this is that important and that serious that people can get blacklisted, people can lose their homes and this, that, and the other. And you got E&O insurance that can get hit. Then you need to be going down a rabbit hole to make sure that your insurance is not getting hemmed up. You need to go down a rabbit hole and make sure you got a daggone LLC or some kind of corporation or whatever you need to have in order to protect your personal assets. Because you didn't go down a rabbit hole and you're just taking some random person in a state that's not yours advice on how to proceed with such and such and such. You need to do that. Protect yourself. So it goes on and says, example, this here requires affidavits to be complete at notarization, but lenders often overwrite this in practice. Protect yourself. Journal entry. Always record the incident in your notary journal, which fields were blank, who instructed you to proceed, communicate in writing, liability or waiver. Some notaries ask signers to initial next to the blank fields to acknowledge they are aware of them. Now, that's a real good piece of advice. So rather than, let's come back to y'all, rather than sticking in there not applicable, because it is applicable, how about initial next to it to indicate that they see that as blank? You see how your knowledge just shot through the roof. Now, if anybody knows somebody teaching this or sharing this out there, please tell me. If you know that, if you know of that, and don't be lying, okay? Don't be just saying that to try to I'm gonna just show Griffin. He ain't the only one. He ain't the first one, which I am. But nonetheless, because I guarantee you, they're worried about the next course they're worried about the next piece of money they can help you make, but they're not helping you do this. And the reason why I know they're not doing it because they've already said they don't teach proper notarization. They don't teach you about how to notarize. And this deals with proper notarization. Because if your state like Texas or Florida says you cannot do an incomplete document, then then the notarization is not complete. So somebody talking about they're teaching you, no, they're not teaching you. So let's ask it. And if y'all got questions, notary questions that y'all wanted to ask. Let's ask it tonight. Let's hop on DeepSeek. I wish I had time to get onto the other ones, but I don't. So my next question is, and I think I've asked this before. I don't have time. Feel like trying to search for it, but I'll just ask it again. Um, as a notary, I heard. I have heard that incomplete documents cannot get notarized. Can you explain what is deemed, hope I said that right, what is deemed an incomplete document, and are there any states that prohibit doing notarizations on incomplete documents? Now, if y'all think it should have been worded differently, feel free to let me know. Okay. And I did this before. I probably worded it different. So I think some of y'all may remember when I did this. So it says, as a notary public, you absolutely be cautious about notarizing incomplete document. Doing something can expose you to legal liability, fraud, risk, and even revocation of your commission. Below a detailed breakdown of what constitutes an incomplete document, state specific restrictions, and best practices. You, why y'all not using AI? Huh? Why are y'all still sitting here paying people to tell y'all nothing? Seriously. Unless you just want the interaction with another human being and you just feel that they're going to tell me something, they're going to give me the real juice. They're going to give me the tea. And I'm going to know something that nobody else knows. If you really think that you're just lying to yourself, you are just truly lying to yourself. If you really think that you're gonna call, and the reason why I say it, because people have called me. They don't do it over the last year and a half. I haven't gotten those kind of phone calls. But when I first got on YouTube, people was calling me and literally saying, "Okay, Griff, I heard what you said in the video, but look, man, just tell me the truth. Tell me the real deal." And I said, "It's what I told you in the video." So that's it. That's what this notary business is all about. Yeah. Oh, that's oh. I'm like, well, you thought I had some kind of secret sauce over here to tell you that's different? Well, yeah. I said, how disingenuous would that be for me to say this information, hold back the real deal, and wait for you to contact me and just tell you? And then you go out here executing it, you pop lock and making all kind of money. Everybody else is trying to figure out what in the world, how you, and they can tell you're doing something different than what was put out on YouTube. And I said, and then in your arrogance, you might say, well, Griff told me the secret sauce. And now I got everybody angry with me because I didn't tell them. Why didn't I put it out? What makes you so special that I told you and not them? I said, I don't do that. And if I do come up with a revelation or something, an idea, and I mention it to somebody when I'm talking one-on-one with them, I eventually do share it with everybody else. There's things that I share with the channel members that I eventually end up talking to y'all publicly about. One of them is this topic right here. I just happened to do it all in the same day. I talked a little bit about this topic on a video with them, and then I said I'm gonna talk to y'all about it. So I'm not the guy that's gonna sit here and hide stuff, and then hopefully y'all will be willing to open up your wallets and pay me all of this secret squirrel money to get some information, and then I'm just making everybody pay me this money and giving everybody the same little nuggets, making you think that you somebody special and that you got something that nobody else got. I don't do that kind of mess. So don't call me thinking that I'm gonna do that, and don't lie and say that I did, because I no. But it just goes on and says, and y'all need to ask it yourself. Y'all need to really, I don't know if this is, I'm gonna see if it'll fit. There you go. Came out in two different posts. But y'all take that same what I just copied and pasted in there and ask it for yourself. What makes a document incomplete? Has blank fields, especially critical ones, name, date, signatures, lacks essential notarial wording, missing attachments, contains TBD for placeholders that should be filled in before signing, all of that. So this is stuff, what we saw. And then here's Florida, New York. So these states got specific guidelines, okay? Where is it? Okay. These states got specific guidelines. Affidavits must be completed before notarization. I mean, must be completed before, yeah, in front, in front of the person. Texas, notaries cannot notarize documents with blank spaces. Florida prohibits notarizing if material blanks exist. Okay. So now the question is, what does material blanks mean? What do they mean by that? And then New York requires documents to be fully executed. Now you have to know what does that mean in terms. Bars notarization if essential portions are blank. So now you need to know what are essential portions. You get what I'm saying? I use Gemini for information that isn't clear. These bots are wonderful tools. That is correct. So let me do this here. Please explain what is meant by by material blanks noted in so under Florida statute, a notary is prohibited from notarizing a document that contains material blanks, meaning any blank spaces, if filled in later, could alter the document's intent, validity, or legal effect. Here's a breakdown of what this means and how it applies to your work as a notary. Material blanks, changing the document's meaning, dollar amounts, all of that, create legal obligations, facilitate fraud. Okay, so material blanks refer to an empty field or space in a document. If later filled in, could change the document's meaning. Okay, so now the question would be, if this is filled in later, could that be a problem? If it's filled in incorrectly, could it change? If it's filled in, could it change them? And the only thing I can think of, if they had the wrong lender name and they had the wrong loan number. All right, what I'm explaining, Ariana, is about filling in. Please make sure you go back and look at the replay. Look at this later. Um, yeah, notarizing signatures on documents where there are empty spaces. That's what I'm talking about. What are the rules? What are the laws? What are the statutes? Can you do it? Can you not do it? So forth and so on. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Because everybody says you most definitely cannot, but there are caveats in which you can, and there's certain guidelines that you need to take into account. Okay, but the question now becomes, is the blank something that if it gets filled in later could change the document's meaning, create legal obligations that weren't agreed upon, or facilitate fraud? Examples of material blanks: cannot be notarized, meaning the document cannot be notarized. Loan documents missing loan amounts, interest rates, or borrower's name. Deed contracts, blank property description, purchase, price, party's name, affidavits, unfilled dates, critical check boxes, agreed to terms. Okay. Examples of non-material, administrative blanks, loan number, intentional tracking codes. So that means what? The loan number can be left blank. Oh, standard clauses like date if the signer initials the blank. So that means what that means is, and I have an example for you. What that means is on my owner's affidavit, when it says the building and all improvements were completed more than X amount of years ago, if they for some reason don't know, that could be left blank if they initial it. You see what y'all learned for free tonight? Hmm. And I feel sorry for those people who left early. People don't like it when I be talking smack about these trainers. People think I'm being negative. I'm not being negative. What's negative is when you don't pay money to somebody and they can't take time out to teach you what I'm sharing with you. You should not have to come here at 9 something at night to learn this information where you don't pay somebody $500-$600 and they ain't taught you jack. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. And people don't like hearing that kind of talk. And even still with the and I appreciate the young lady made the comment talking about these trainers trying to make money. Not if you lying to me, not if you can't help me. I don't want to hear no mess about, well, they trying to make money too. No, they trying to get over. Help me. If I'm paying you more than $200-$300, heck, if I'm paying you $100, I think you should be willing to help me to get to where I need to be. Oh, well, you just paid me just to share just a little something to you, but to get to where you need to be, you got to do that on your own. Well, you know what? I can do that on my own. I don't need you in any way, shape, or form because I can use AI. Seriously, all right, Adriana, what question you got that a trainer, mentor, or coach that you asked a trainer, mentor, or coach and you never really got a straight answer for? Feel free to ask me. We'll hop on here and do an AI search on it and see what we can find out. You see what I'm saying? So here we just figured out real quick by asking the right question. So it came back and told us that in Florida, notarizing prohibits notarizing if material blanks exist. Okay, so what is a material blank? So now what I'm gonna ask it is, according to this executive's law, um, please explain what fully executed means in that. This is how we learn. Under this here is prohibited from notarizing a document unless it is fully executed. The term is critical for ensuring the validity and legally and the, the validity and legality of notarizing documents in New York. Here's a detailed explanation. Definition of fully executed in New York. A document is considered fully executed when all required signatures are present, dot, dot, dot. All essential terms are filled in, dot, dot, meaning no material blanks, and we understand what material blanks mean. No document is, the document is complete, no missing pages or attachments referenced in the text. The notarial certificate is properly worded and matches the signer's intent. All signatures are present, no material blank, meaning no missing dates, dollar amounts, legal descriptions, all of that. How New York execute applies to notaries. A notary cannot notarize a document that is incomplete, missing signatures, unchecked boxes, or blank fields. Now the question, so meaning if there's 5 or 6 blank boxes, I'm sure that means something has to be checked. A selection has to be made. Not every single box has to be checked because it could be 5 options. Which option do you select? Okay. Fully legal to notarize a mortgage deed with all signature dates and property detail filled in. an affidavit where the signer has checked all applicable boxes and signed. See, I'm reading this, so I didn't even see that, and I just told y'all what the answer was. Has checked all applicable boxes. So that means, and the reason why I'm talking about that is because some of y'all will get very, very legalistic and say, well, there's 6 boxes on here. They need to check everything. Not all 6 apply. Check the ones that do. Then here's the legal, then here's the illegal part. Dot, 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 dot. Consequences, all of that. This is how easy it is to figure stuff out. But if you're not willing to do the requisite work, then how do you plan on being a great notary? How do you plan on being a great notary? And let's ask this here. Okay. So please explain what essential portions mean in now. For some of you human beings out here, y'all don't want to do this. You just want to make money. You just want to get paid. That's all you care about. And you don't give a flying flip about any of this. All you want to know is how to fill out stuff. And you'll call me, ask me a question, and then you hang up because I got my answer, and you go on. You don't want to know the backstory. You don't want to know the history. You don't want to know the legality of it. But the crazy part is that there's some people out here that sit there and say they want to learn this thing because it's legal documents. And I don't want to mess up somebody's legal stuff and I can get in trouble. But when it comes time to you really getting the answer, you don't do the requisite research. So it says under Illinois, this, that, and the other, the notary prohibited document has essential portion. Here's a breakdown. Essential portion refers to parts of the document, if left blank, could alter the legal effect of the definition, effect of the document, change the rights and obligations of the parties involved, facilitate fraud if filled in later without authorization. See these words? Without authorization. So non-essentials, internal tracking numbers, pre-printed, dot, dot, dot. So it's the same as the material one. It's the same as the material. They just use a different piece of verbiage to describe it. Questions, comments, talk to me, y'all. Come on, talk to me. Yo, where you at now with this? Because many of you have heard this, even though you didn't acknowledge it in the chat. You've heard that before. So my question is this: the next time you in your Facebook group, whether paid or unpaid, and somebody starts talking about you can't do a notarization of a document that has a blank field on it, what are you going to say? You've been educated. Are you going to not say anything and just let them believe that? Or what if it's a Texas or Florida notary that's talking about that? And you don't pay for this training, then you gotta raise, in my opinion, you gotta raise your hands. Excuse me, teacher, excuse me. And you can tell him I told him. That Uncle Griff guy, with the beard he keep forgetting to shave. Yeah, him. He did a thing about this, and it appears that certain states don't have rules outlining whether or not we can or can't do that. And there were some best practices that was given, and they don't lean toward us just flat out not doing the notarization because the document had a blank on it. I understand that for Texas and or Florida, wherever you're coming from, y'all, that's y'all thing. But in my state, we don't have that. So thank you for saying that, but that doesn't apply to me. Watch how fast you get kicked out. And see, if you're about being the social side, are you trying to be a social person or are you trying to run a business? When you're trying to run business, you ain't worried about whether you get kicked in or out or something. You're just trying to make sure you're doing what you need to do. That's why I ain't in no Facebook groups. And if I am, I don't even pay them. Matter of fact, I turn notifications off on my Facebook. I say I don't even want no notifications. So anybody that's sending me a message or whatever on Facebook, I don't even I don't get it. I post my videos on Facebook, but I don't even get the notification that somebody liked my videos because it's just too many notifications. There's just too much junk out there from these people. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Is there anything that you do not get or understand? Do you understand it? Did this help you in any way? Please articulate that to me. Talk to me, somebody. Stop sitting back like, oh, okay. Nobody gonna come get you. Nobody gonna bother you. Trust me. And if they do, you just send them my way. I got something for that. I got something for them. Because I guarantee you, if they bothering you after this year, then that tells you how much of a fraud they are. They ain't nothing but a straight up fraud. All you got to do is just let them look at this video. We've been up here for an hour and almost an hour and a half. You let them look at this video and ask them, say, where is he wrong at? Or really, where is AI wrong at? Go do the research yourself, TMC. They won't do it. Because if they do the research and they gain the knowledge, then that means they got to change the way they operate. And to change the way they operate means they might not be making as much money as they was making, which means then they got to go back out and do, meaning they can't make as much money as they were as a trainer. Now they got to go out and actually do loan closings. And they don't want to do that. Y'all don't realize that the average TMC really don't want to do loan closings. That is not their desire at all. They don't want to do that. Now you take this and now you're dealing with a title company or a signing company that's trying to influence you to do something different. You can talk to them. Because just imagine if you have a signing company owner who's been trained by their TMC that you can't fill in, that you can't notarize a signature on a document that has a blank. But you're not from Texas or Florida. They are. They're a title company or a signing company in Texas or Florida, and they're telling you, oh, well, you can't do that. But your state law says something different. Now you got some ammunition to stand up to them. So any questions, any comments, anything else before we get out of here? Adriana, do you have anything? Please go back and look at the video from the beginning. Do you have any questions or any concerns or anything concerning this business? Anybody got any thoughts or whatever and all of that? Hope y'all hear me. Please go back and look at the video. Okay, yep. Just making sure. No questions? Okay. We still here. Gotcha. I just wanted to make sure. Which I know I don't have no problem talking to myself. I don't have no problem talking to myself. But I just want that's been bugging me for the longest. And I just said, let me just do a video on it. So I'll take it for what it's worth. Do your research. After this video, if you're not doing your research when you have questions and concerns about something, and you start struggling in this business, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You really don't. You have no one to blame but yourself. And for those who might just stumble across this video, um, let's do this here. Let's do this here. Somebody pick a state outside of California. I know competitors would be like California. Tell me a state where you're at. Adriana, if you're still here, what state you're in? I will use Arkansas. All right, we'll go back and change that before I hit the button. Missouri. Yes. OU. All right. So if you're a brand new notary and you're like, okay, well, how? Because remember, the TMCs told you they don't teach you how to fill out notary certificates. All right, they teach you everything else, but they don't teach you that. So as a notary, how do I fill out a Missouri acknowledgement? Just ask the question. Let's see what it says. Here's an example of one. So Missouri law does not prescribe exact wording, but the following is standard. So you got the state, you got the county, the date, your name, personally appeared, the name of the people. Of course, these lines can be longer to fit your name. All of that. Then your signature, your seal, somewhere over here, it won't be directly underneath there. And then your commission expiration. And then here's the elements that are required: state and county, the date, the signer's names, the notary's signature, printed name, notary seal required in Missouri, commission expiration. And then we double check this because this could be more of a general response, because then what you can do is, what are the required elements for proper notarization in Missouri? To be more specific, just to be on the safe side. Now you tell me, why can't you do this and save your hind part some money? Why you got, unless you just want to be up in the club. Let's just be honest. You just want to be up in the notary club, and the problem is you up in that club and you ain't learning anything. That's where the problem comes in, because once you get out of the club, you ain't learned nothing that you can actually take back. You done spent money on some new products. You done spent money on some new courses, but you have not learned what you need to learn in order to do your job. Because before you went to the conference, whether the NNA or anybody else's, you did, except for Belinda Bennett, her conference is cool. You did not know how to do your notarizations properly. If you're going to a conference and you have no clue as to how to properly do notarization, I guarantee you're going to come out of there not knowing how to do proper notarization, because that is not what they teach there. It's about you buying more stuff, period. So this is how you get your answer. You go through and you ask it these specific questions. How is that so daggone hard? Why can't you do that unless you are truly that lazy of a person? And I know that sounds negative, but this just being honest. This is what your boss will tell you, like, hey, look, you want this promotion. Why can't we have a library or some online courses and you have not gone in and done any of them? You want me to promote you to senior executive, whatever, but we have a senior executive course for free that you can take, and you won't go and do it. You're too lazy to take the course. And we give you time during the day. If your project and everything is taken care of, then you can spend. And we tell people, on Fridays, if you take a half day, or things are caught up, then go learn. We got an online training thing, and you won't go do it, but yet you want a promotion. It's no different than in here. You want everybody to respect you as a notary. You want everybody to look at you as a preferred notary, but you have no preferred knowledge. You know nothing necessary to say that you are preferred. All you know is what you pay some TMC for, and what you pay the TMC for does not actually put you in there as preferred, unless it's here's some more cookies, here's some more ice cream, here's some more gift cards, and you're paying somebody to do that. You know what? Let me ask that question. As a commission notary, am I allowed to offer free food or gift cards to gain work from title companies? Sorry, I was going to close it out, but hey, I got to do this here. As a commission notary offering free food, gift cards, or other incentives to title companies in exchange for work can raise legal and ethical concerns depending on state law and industry standards. Here's what you need to know: Missouri and federal law to consider. Missouri, okay, that's Willie. Anti-kickback laws. The Real Estate Settlement Procedure Act prohibits giving anything of value in exchange for referrals related to real estate transactions, including loan closings. Penalties can be up to $10,000, 1 year in prison. Missouri notary law. While Missouri law doesn't explicitly ban gifts to title companies, notaries should avoid conflicts of interest. Accepting or offering favors could imply bias and violate professional ethics. And y'all thought I was crazy for not giving cookies and ice cream to people. When y'all thought I was joking, and it was crazy when I said I ain't giving nobody no free food, no free donuts, nothing. You are literally saying I'm gonna pay $800, $900, 1,000, or whatever to somebody to train me how to be a notary signing agent. And then the first thing that I'm doing is going out. I only had no cash. I'm going out with my money and buying stuff and then handing them some kind of gift card, giving them a gift card, going to the daggone office and saying, yeah, I'm here. I'm a new notary. Yeah, pick a gift card. Yeah, any gift card you want, pick one, just so they can give me work. They're not giving me work on my actual merit as a notary and the confidence that they should garner and ascertain from the fact that I took Fred Jones' training course or Shakita Robinson's training course. Sorry, there's a real Shakita Robinson out there or Fred Jones, but they're not hiring me because of that. They're hiring me because I gave them something. I gave them something specific like food or this, that, or other, or I promised them something. Oh, I'll do some extra stuff for free. I thought we was officers of the state. We swore an oath. Come on, somebody, talk to me. Ethical guidelines for notary, and it's only, and the reason why it's coming back Missouri because that's what we were just talking about, Missouri. National Notarization advises against gifts that could be seen as a pay-to-play arrangement. So, oh, I got to come back to y'all on this one. So tell me this: if the NNA is saying that we shouldn't be doing things as a pay-to-play, then why do they have people keynoting in their conferences that teach that? That teach that. They teach that. They teach that. The American Land Title Association title companies often prohibit employees from accepting gifts to avoid RESPA violations. Safety alternatives to safe alternatives, networking, attend networking events, this, that, and the other. Okay, I still don't believe in doing free closing. I'm not doing nothing for free. I'm sorry, because they got the money. And if you have confidence in your ability and that you know you can do the stuff right, you should not have to do free anything. And they should be willing, they should understand. So what's allowed, that they are not tied to referrals, they're modest in value. So you need to find out your state laws. Me, I want to have no improprieties, so I'm going to make sure that I don't do that. It says gift cards are treated like cash under RESPA. So that means now you need to understand this here RESPA, Real Estate Settlement Protection Act. I think that's what it stands for. Make sure. Procedures Act, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. You need to make sure that you are following it, because let's just say as a notary we don't directly fall into this category under that RESPA, but the people we're dealing with do. So why are you going to put them in a position to violate something that they shouldn't? Because that's all we're doing is asking them for cash for favors. I mean, I could go even deeper into this and say, ask that same question as a commission notary. Am I allowed as a commission notary, in what states am I allowed to offer free food or gift cards to gain work from title companies? I literally can ask it that, and they'll probably come back and tell me none. Matter of fact, as a commission notary, in which states am I allowed to offer free food or gift cards to gain work from title companies? Bump it. Might as well ask it. Let's see what it says. So there's the question. So y'all can know that I asked the question. There's the question. In which states, as a commission notary, offer free food, gift cards, incentives to title companies and exchange is highly restricted in all 50 states due to federal anti-kickback laws. A state-specific notary and state-specific notary from below is a breakdown of where and how such incentives could legally be permitted or prohibited. Y'all look up. I'm gonna drop the question in the chat, and y'all go read it for yourself. Y'all go look it up for yourself. I don't care what AI tool you use. Go look it up for your daggone self and find out, because this is your business and this is what you're supposed to be doing. Now, if you're saying, Griff, you done went down to too deep, you done went down to the Mariana Trench, and you done went down to the daggone hot core of the earth, this business may not be for you. Because if you've ever said out of your mouth, you're concerned about doing things legally right and don't want to get in trouble, don't want your E&O insurance hit, then why you can't take the time out to learn this stuff? And I'm gonna just be real with you. For some of you, the reason why you never got promoted at work like you thought you should, because you didn't do what was required. You didn't do what was necessary. You didn't put in the effort and the time to get where you needed to be. And some of you done came in this business because you figure, oh, well, this might be a shortcut, so I don't have to learn anything else. I'll just learn from them and I'll just do what they say to do, and I'll start making all kind of money without actually spending any brain power to learn anything, because this is just a plug and play business. All I got to do is just get up and plug it in, and whoo, there's the money. And your hind parts done figured out it don't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. And now you actually got to learn what the heck to do as a notary in accordance with your state law. And now we see there's a federal anti-kickback law. So then you have to ask yourself, please explain federal what the give me a quick summary. Um, um, give me a quick summary of federal anti-kickback laws in the U.S. Again, I know this is deep for people. So you tell me, why would I want to take training from somebody that's telling me to do something? That means that person has never taken time out to find out whether or not any of the stuff that they're teaching is legal. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at this. I'm gonna drop this question in the chat. Go look it up yourself. Gift cards, cash, free meals, or discounts tied to referrals. Quid pro quo arrangements. Send me 10 closings, I'll give you $500. Hidden kickbacks or kickback disguised as marketing agreements. Limited exceptions, nominal gifts. Normal business promotions. Bottom line, never exchange gifts for referrals in real estate transactions. State law, state laws may add stricter rules than these here. This here, mm, California banned notary incentives entirely. So if your trainer is in any one of those states telling you to do that, we got a problem. Yeah, I hear you, Caprinas. I hear you, man. And this ain't me going after any specific trainer, but I'm just saying they the ones that put themselves out there. When in doubt, don't give anything. Focus on professionalism. This response is AI generated for reference only. So now that means what? They got to prove to you. Because if you come to them with this information, now they got to prove to you that what they told you was legal. And if you're unwilling to confront them about this, then hey, you're on your own. And I'm serious. Don't call me trying to question me or justify, or don't even hop in my comment section trying to come at me. Well, Griff, you gotta understand. I mean, it's hard out here. We gotta find a way to get some business there, Griff. I mean, hey, down here in Texas, ooh, dog, it is hard. I mean, these notaries are everywhere. You turn over a tumbleweed, and there's 17 notaries. And you want me to follow some kind of anti-kickback, god dang on violation requirement guidelines? Oh man, I ain't gonna never make no money. Girl, you got to, oh my goodness, you got to, come on, Griff. Give it a break, man. Tell me how I can make $10,000 a month. Those are the phone calls I get sometimes. Those are the emails I get. I'm serious. I wish I could come up with a California one. But I'm serious. I'm serious. People be coming at me. People be coming at me. I'm trying to see if I can find. I'm trying to find one because, as an example, that I can give y'all. Yeah, here's one right here. This is what somebody wrote me. I took their name out. This is what somebody wrote me. Thank you for your video, but I do have some comments. I think it's up to all of us, including you, Griff, when you say just take orders. So you also have signing companies that are listening to your videos, as you mentioned. And when you have a company offering a HELOC at 35, they're talking about coast to coast, and your video, and you're going 40 miles one way, taking it an 80-minute trip, supposed to be 80 miles. That's not cool. I would like to see you do conversations about signing agencies stepping up and recognizing they used to be signing agents and now they're opening up their own business. I get that, but it is disrespectful to a new agent or current agent to put out there a HELOC at $35 last minute. By the way, not cool. And I will never take one of those. I will never take one of those ever. That's 80 miles round trip and a 40 minute signing. It is not going to be 40 minutes. It is not going to be 40 minutes to do a HELOC. Stating we must be lazy or not driven, not true. There's a right and there's not a right. This is what I was emailed. I was emailed this from a lady. This is the kind of stuff that I get sent. But yet they won't send those same emails to your boys and to your girls out there, not educating them, not teaching them. They won't do that. Mm-mm. They won't say nothing to them. But this is what I get. These are the kind of things that I get all the time. I get this stuff all the time. This is who we're dealing with out here, people. These are the people we got out here telling me I need to have a conversation with the signing companies and try to get them in check. I'm like, how am I supposed to make them do what you want them to do? How do I get them to do that? How do I make them do what you want them to do? I'm trying to find, see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. Just follow me on this, folks. This is another one. Oh, this is further. This is further instruction. So I want to. I want great content there. This person here tells me. Was this the same? No, no, no. This is a different person. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is a different person. So this is, yeah, this, no, I'm sorry, the same person, but then they came back again talking about, thank you, Griff, for addressing this. I'm not saying be quiet because I hadn't did a video. I'm saying give attention to the fact that we are out here hustling also, not just you. You mentioned many times your pay and your orders and your averages are almost 100 each order. I'm merely saying we're not lazy. Some folk are lazy, and I know people don't like that. We're just not okay with 70 to 120-page documents with scan backs and getting only 10% of the fee the title company is paying to the agency. It it is, as I said, not okay. Take a buyer's package and a seller's package all day long at 85 with a 40-minute drives. All I'm saying is lazy has nothing to do with this. There is acceptable and not acceptable fees. Doing loan marks at 30 all day long, not scans. I never took a LSA training, only NNA. I listened to a few people on YouTube and source out the stuff. I recognize the BS and recognize the hustle. I was merely saying give credit where credit is due. Support us. I don't support y'all. Oh, the topic started off with Wanda talking about as it says, well, oh, and I said using AI to answer your questions. And the question was, can you notarize documents with blanks? Can you do a notarization on that? So you got to go back and look at the whole video. I know this is a lot longer than I expected, to be honest. But then I got into some more deeper notary laws and breaking that stuff down. So it leads into this here. And the point that I'm making here is you have people out here who come with all kinds of crazy stuff at me, jumping down my throat, left and right. I mean, all of this here, writing a daggone dissertation. I ain't even gonna read all of this here, but this is what people are doing, and they won't take and they won't take responsibility. You know, the stuff that they're saying, this is not cool, this is not acceptable. Then how do you get people to pay you? I mean, and this here comes from them trainers, them NNA featured trainers saying that we're only getting 10% of the fee. Y'all know, you know what? I have to show y'all. Let me do it this way. Never mind. Let me show y'all. Let me just show you. Um, Let me show you. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. See, people don't be believing me. Y'all think I just be talking out the side of out of my neck. I hope I can pull this up. I can't. That's right. I'm having a problem with my hard drive right now. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. It's back. I had lost connection to my hard drive. I just replugged it back in. So let me pull this up. Let me show y'all something. I'm gonna show you something about this 10% bull jive they talking. Where is it? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna show y'all the 10% bull jive they talking. Just hold on 1 second. I wasn't even gonna talk about this, but I see I need to bring it. I need to show y'all. Let me see if I can do a quick find for it. There we go. Just do a search for it. Here it is, right here. Now I'm gonna let y'all know this is what I got paid on this order. I got paid $150 to do this order. Okay, I'm gonna show you 10%. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, please be patient with me. Please be patient with me. Hold on 1 second. I just need to do one thing real quick. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, never mind. I keep losing it. Hold on, people. Okay. Stuff it right there in my face. You tell me this here estimated notary fee, 250. I got paid 150. This is a closing that I did a couple of days ago. Estimated notary fee. This is on the settlement statement. Signing company hired me. I got 150, they got 100. Where's the 10% at? Huh? Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Where's the 10% at? Where's the 10% at? That's what I want to know from them. You see what I'm saying? Let's take a look at something else here. This is from, and I know Completeness probably remembers this, and maybe even Wanda. But this here, I'm gonna have to do some zooming in and scrolling left and right, y'all. But this here is, I think, from October of 2023, or might have been 2024. I forget which one. But this here is the money that I made from each one of these categories. So let's look at these categories. Orders of $50 only, $35.50. Okay. Then orders of $100 or less, like from $10 all the way up to $100. Okay. 60. You see this here row, all the way down. Anything that I did, all the way up to 100. All right. Came out to $36,997. $100 or less for the year. Okay. Orders less than $100, taking out the $100. It's only $10, a little bit less than $10 more. That would, and this is 56% of the money that I'm making. This was 44% of the money that I was making. And then here's $100 or more. So orders of $100 or more during that time, that's how much that money came out to. Then the orders that I did that were over $100, 101 or more, $28,000. Now you can't add all of this up because that comes out to over 100, because some of these carry over, okay, and all of that. And then orders for $150 or more, 17,000. So it had 17,000 in orders of $150 or more. There ain't nan one of y'all out here that wouldn't accept this if this was you. Ain't nan one of y'all. Yeah, some work to it. But then are the expenses as great as you say they are? Are they? Are the expenses as great as you say they are? That you're spending all of this money on expenses. If you use these pens, these G2 pens, all you got to do, I don't have it up here, but you can buy the refills. You can buy these refills. Keep the pen and buy the refills. You ain't got to keep buying a whole nother set of these pens unless you're just losing them all the time. That right there, paper clips. Oh, that's gonna last me a long time. Them paper clips gonna last me a long time. I spent whatever money I had to spend on them, gonna last me a long time. The only thing that I really spend a lot of money on is I spend money on is my refills, my paper, my folders. I like to use folders. Use folders, and then my toner and my drum. And real quick, I meant to do this earlier. This thing right here cleans off your drum head. So if for some reason you start seeing spots and things of that nature, run that back about 2 or 3 times. That should help clean up your printing. And I was just recently going through that, and for some reasons I said, let me find out what can do, and that was it. Yes, Completeness, remember that. Completeness remembers that spreadsheet, and I've done videos showing y'all the money that I'm making, the money that I've made in this. Am I doing? And a matter of fact, see, I was prepared. I was prepared. And here's the video. Where's the share? Let me copy it and throw it in here in the chat. Here's the video. This is the video that I did talking about all of this. That's the video. That's the video that I did talking about this. I'm giving y'all the information. I'm sharing stuff with y'all. Then here's another one. Here's another video. The cost of printing, the real cost of printing. Let me give y'all that one. See, everybody want to talk all this smack about expenses and stuff, but they ain't ran the numbers. They really haven't ran the numbers. In this video right here, the power of a $60 order, and talking about the tax implications. Don't play with me. I do what I can to help y'all. What are they doing out there? And then y'all want to, not y'all, but these other people want to sit here. And this was back when the Virginia stamp was $5 per notarization. Now it's 10. But people were sitting up here. You want to jump on me and tell me this, that, or the other, and you won't even do the requisite research for your own daggone business. You see what I'm saying? This is why people are failing at this stuff, because they won't go out here and do what it takes. They won't go out here and do what they need to do so that they can be successful out here in this business. That's where the problem comes in at. Trying to see. Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I need, any other videos I need to send y'all away. Yeah. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one. This one here, and this is at the 1 hour and 10-minute point, 1 hour and 9-minute point. I got it here. I'm talking about the difference, for signings in January, breaking down my numbers, real detail, very, very detailed. Okay. So people, if you truly are listening and following, you will know that I break this stuff down unlike anybody else. This is back in, I forget which year. Does it say what year? This is from 3 years ago. Okay, so the comments, this is from 3 years ago. So yeah, this is from 3 years ago. I'm breaking it down. 42 closings in January, 42 of them and I know y'all probably can't see that. I don't know. Okay, there we go. 42 4 at $100, 19 over 100, 19 below 100. So you get to see the percentages. So now when you look at the numbers, and if you are a numbers person, now the question is, how are you not making money? How are you not growing your business? And the main reason why most people aren't growing their business and they're struggling financially, and this is with anything, is because they are overextended. You're spending money on all of the frivolous stuff of trying to hang out with every single cool kids club out there, and you're not actually doing your business. You're spending more time doing that stuff than doing closings, than doing general notary, than doing apostilles, than doing anything notary related. You're spending more time sitting back hoping to find something, but you're not spending any time doing something. That's where the issue comes in at. You're spending more time trying to find something to do. Well, I'm going to look for a notary assignment that's $180. Okay, but there's a whole bunch that's 100. Nah, that ain't enough. So you're not doing anything. You're looking for something, but you're not doing anything. So people can jump on me all they want, and they don't like the fact that I'm just being a straight shooter and telling you, some of you being lazy. Not all. And if you don't want to say lazy, then maybe you're just making excuses. Are you making excuses for not doing what you need to do for your business? Or are you looking for some TMC, like this lady looking for me to speak on behalf of the notaries? That I'm supposed to go to the signing companies and say, excuse me, Mr. Signing Company, what I need you to do, now I'm going to do my British accent. So what I need you to do there, no, I'm going to do African. What I need you to do is to go and fix the notary pay system. I need you to fix the notary pay system. That is right, because we cannot stand that. We do not want to be paid those low fees anymore. That is correct. You will not pay us any lower than $150 per assignment. And you will print the documents and hand deliver them to us so that we incur no cost whatsoever. That is what you're going to do. And if you will not, we will not take another order from you from any platform that you may have. How that's going to work out. If you're not making money in this business, look at how you're spending the money that you are making. If you're not being able to take care of yourself financially at your job, look at how you're spending your money. Because I done did so many closings this month with people refinancing to pay off their debt, pulling out $100,000. Somebody pulling out $100,000. What in the world you got going on to pay off their debt? That's what I'm seeing. They're not even trying to refinance into a loan. They trying to pay off debt. $29,000 credit card bills. Seeing 3 and 4 credit card bills on their alter statement, that's minimum $12,000 for 3 different credit cards. We are not spending our money right. That's the problem we have. We have a spending problem. And that is the number one reason why some of these signing companies can't pay us, because they have a spending problem. Tell me if I'm wrong. So had a borrower yesterday had 38 payoffs on their settlement statement. 38 payoffs. They can't ask the company, they can't ask their job for more money. The job is like, look, we're paying you the max. We're paying you what we done promoted you and all of that, and you still need more. Well, boss, can you get no? There's no more pay increases. I can't pay you anymore. And we want more and more from the tackle. And yes, I know all the notary cafe old head notaries. Well, we used to make $400 a signing and $200 a signing. Okay, but you ain't making that now. So either you're gonna stay in it or get out. And this is where I come with the lazy thought process. If you know you can still make 9 grand, 10 grand, but the fees have dropped by $15, $20, that means you just got to do a little bit more work. Well, I don't feel like doing all that. It ain't worth it. Okay. But then you're going to get online and complain the rest of your natural life about what it used to be and what it ain't, and then give everybody else a hard time for working what they can work because they didn't live in that time frame. It's no different than sport. Well, back in the day, the quarterback, he didn't need to be protected. Back in the day, oh man, they was hand checking, they were doing this, that, and the other. Okay, well, we're in a different era now. Back in the day, them guys, they used to just scrap out there. We're in a different era now. Back in the day, the comedians used to say all kinds of stuff. They used to use the F word and this word and that. And you can't do that no more. So every other area of your life, you want to accept change and progress. And just because things have changed and progressed to a different level in the notary world, for unfortunately to a lower dollar amount, and actually things have progressed in this world to a lower quality of what we get. The TV shows, the movies, the sports. I didn't even look at in the NBA season this year. There was not one single game that I looked at all the way through. I barely looked at 3 minutes of any quarter. Didn't look at any of the finals. Didn't look at maybe 2 pieces of the playoff games because it's boring. It's not interesting anymore. And unfortunately, they have done that. And now you have to ask yourself this. Let me try to close out on this. Why did the fees lower? Typically, from a business standpoint, when a company who's paying out money lowered the fee that they're paying, it's primarily because they're losing money due to errors that the people who they hired are making. Why are they making errors? Because, as we learned, there are people teaching us stuff that is wrong. And you're not learning stuff that is correct because you won't do the requisite research. You want to depend on these people because they got cute hair, nice smile, energetic, got you thinking that you're at an Amway convention or a Prime America convention, and they got you up there like the guy Tony Little. You can do it. You can do it. And they got you all hyped up. And then when you leave there, you don't know nothing still about how to run your business. Mm, mm, mm. You can take that to church tomorrow. If your church service born tomorrow, just think about that last statement I just said. You'll be all right. You'll get touched. Ooh, hallelujah. I'm just saying, why would somebody start dropping the fees? And y'all don't want to accept the fact that we as notaries have screwed up royally out here and messed up a lot of stuff. We have done wrong. We don't know how to notarize. We don't know how to show up on time. We taking dogs to appointments. We're taking kids to appointments. We're doing all of this foul stuff. We're dressing like we at the club, coming in there with slides on, coming in there with flip-flops on, coming in there stink, coming in there with too much perfume, coming in talking politics. You're doing all of this stuff except doing your daggone job right. And then when I say something, this old Griff, you're being mean. I'm unsubscribing. So I don't care. Question is whether you subscribed or not. Are you making the money you're supposed to be making? Are you getting the orders? Well, no, because how dare they disrespect us? This is disgraceful. Then go find something else to do. Ain't got nothing else to do. I can do. Then make this work. Then that means I'm gonna have to stop being a part of the cool kids club. Yeah. When has the cool kids club ever made anybody any money? The cool kids are the people at the top, pyramid scheme, and all they're doing is got y'all thinking that you're going to be able to get up there at the top, pyramid scheme, and you never ever get at the top, but you spending all your money thinking you're going to get up the top, pyramid scheme. That's where we're at. That is where we're at with this. So you can say whatever you want, and I did a video about that. I did a video about that called the Notary Pyramid Scheme. Boom, right here, the Notary Pyramid Scheme. Might as well share that with y'all. Y'all think I'm playing out here? I'm trying to help y'all. I'm really trying to help you. I'm trying to give y'all the information you need so you can be successful in this business. Now, if I'm wrong, if there's a TMC out there with a big boy or offshoot from the big boy team, if I'm wrong in what I'm saying, then please holler at me so we can figure out this thing. Show me where I'm wrong at. Show me where what you're doing and what you're saying is correct. Let's have a discussion. And if you think that I'm incorrect in what I'm saying, I don't have a problem with criticism. I just don't like people trying to put it on me like it's my job to fix the problem when I didn't create it. And if you're just upset with the fact that I'm saying people are lazy, which they are, people are unwilling to work, which they are, they've said it out of their own mouths, then I ain't down for that. But if you want to have a serious discussion on how to fix the problem, I'm more than willing to listen. We can do it on this platform. We can sit here and have a live, and we can let the people decide what's right and what's wrong. I'll be more than happy to talk to a signing company, title company, lender, trainer, mentor, coach. We can have them all up here and let's talk notary business. But nobody wants to do that, because to do that, and if anything, and if it's not, and if it's proven that what I'm sharing is correct, then that means they got to change the way they're doing stuff out here. And they can't make that money, because then why do I need to pay you when I can use Chat GTP to get my notary answers? And I can learn marketing from that. I can get Chat GTP and say, show me where can I learn Canva? Show me where I can learn Google My Business. I don't need to pay somebody $150 to learn that unless I'm just too lazy to go figure it out myself. Well, Griff, not everybody's technical. Sometimes you better learn how to be technical. Sometimes it's not about operating in your weakness. It's about finding a way to strengthen your weaknesses so you can go out here and save the money and be successful. Because when you want to go on those destination cruises and all that kind of stuff, and you ain't that technically savvy on the computer, you figure it out then. You figure out, oh, I ain't never been to Jamaica before, but you hair your hind parts down there in your little two-piece or your little Bermuda shorts or whatever you got on, and you out there, whoo, and you dancing it up. You taking all kind of little Dramamine pills to keep from getting seasick out there, so you can whoo, mm, mm, doing all that mess. Then you get back here and you won't. I don't know how to do this notary business. Can somebody hold my hand and tell me? Here's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna close it out on this. I know I'm wrong. If you really, 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 really want me to mentor you, and this is me being somewhat facetious, but might as well just say it. I would do it for $1,500, and I will be your everyday go-to person. And I will walk you through everything you need to know. I will just answer your questions. I will just everything that you want. $1,500 a month, not just a one-time shot. No, $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month per person, because that's what you want. You want somebody to sit here and just sit on the stoop and wait for you and just sit here and tell you everything. And I'll do it for $1,500 a month. Bump it. So that's what you want, but you're not lazy. That's what you want. But when I'm willing to work. All right, y'all. What my lady wanted to say, if they were to do the work, they would understand the importance of notarizing. Yeah, but they're not. They're 98% of the people who contact me, and honestly, being honest with you, majority women, they tell me I'm overthinking. Well, yeah, I'm probably overthinking it. Yeah, you are. The notary business is very simple to do, but you got all this stuff running through your head from all these people, but then you're sending me emails, bashing me, jumping on my case, commenting on me, telling me about what I'm not taking into account. Okay, if they're taking all that other stuff that you say I'm not taking into account, if they're taking into account, why you ain't making no money? They the ones who told you about all these expenses, but yet you still ain't making no money. They the ones that told you about the cost of paper and the cost per assignment, which I still haven't had anybody give me a legitimate cost per assignment figures with explanation as to how they came up with them. But you said that, okay, so they get, where's the proof? There is no proof. You have none. You just got what they're saying out the side of their neck. And you just believe them because that's what you want to believe, to give you justification to charge somebody $300 for something that really don't cost that. The value of it is not worth that. You're not worth it because you haven't even done any notarizations. You're too scared to do them. You won't go to anybody's house with a dog, with a cat. You won't go there if they got babies. You won't go there if it's a you going there with with just a person of the opposite sex. You won't go there if it's a same sex person. You won't go there if there's a mixed race couple. You won't go there. You got all these reasons why you won't go do it, but you want somebody to pay you $200 and you won't even get up off your butt to go there. Well, I would go, but they didn't get me the documents 3 days ahead of time, so I canceled. I would go, but they got me to, but they want me to drive 32 miles and I only like to go 25 miles out from my house. And you getting on me because I say you're lazy, unmotivated, unwilling to go out there and run the business. That tells me this ain't a this is just about you trying to find a way to get some quick money. And you need to be honest with your daggone self and stop playing around with people and stop hopping in all these clubhouse rooms and stuff, talking all this smack, and just be honest that you really just want to you just here for a money grab. That's what your hind parts are here for, and you know it. And you don't like this kind of talk because it exposes you. Because now, when you go back in the room, and anybody who listened to this video, they're like, I wonder if she's just here for the money grab. She sounds like a money grabber. He sounds like a grabbing of the money type person. I'm not going to listen to them. And then them same people are like, well, I don't mentor people, but if somebody calls me and needs help, I will help them. And I know they'll pay me. Y'all ain't fooling no daggone body. And you know what? I'm gonna start calling stuff out. I'm gonna have to start calling stuff out even more. I hear people do that all the time. Well, I don't mentor anybody, and I don't. But if somebody needs help, my number is 777-9311, or you can call me on my other number 8675309. Y'all know the reference numbers I'm talking about. I mean, I'm just here to help people. That's all I'm doing. Playing that innocent role. Ain't nobody buying. You ain't fooling no daggone body. That's a fronting little sucker. Because you tired of doing loan closings and you realize that there's a lot more work to it. So I don't have a problem mentoring people. I mean, if somebody needs my help, I'd be more than happy to help them. I'm just an innocent person. I mean, man, I just like trying to help people. I mean, I ain't no coach or nothing, but call me coach. But I mean, right dollar amount, I'll let you call me whatever. Dang on suckers. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. Print my documents and get them ready for. You know what? I ain't even gonna prep them. 46 pages. I don't need to prep them things. Anything else from anybody? Anything else from anybody? I know there's a little bit of delay, but anything else from anybody? Any questions, comments, or anything? Hit me up and all of that, and I will be more than happy to help you out and everything. But y'all gonna be fine. Y'all gonna be fine. Anything. Anything from you. Anything you want to tell me. You gotta go look at me something on Netflix tonight for a little bit. I know the wife done went to bed. I'm just checking some stuff out here. So I hope everybody learned something tonight. And it was not my intent to be on here for almost 2.5 hours. But y'all know how I am. So I greatly appreciate y'all. I really do. I really do. I greatly appreciate y'all. So y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.